Well, hey everybody, Coach here. I'm here with Coach Brandon Barkas with Augustana University, the Northern Sun Coach of the Year. Congratulations.
Last year, actually.
And last year, and Eric Spader, graduate assistant here at Augustana. Always good to hang out with you a little bit, Eric. And you know, we're here today. You guys are heading to the Final Four in the Northern Sun, and wanted to sit down and visit with you a little bit. We've got a couple players with us today. So
yeah, I asked a couple of these women to join us today. Caroline Renner here from Overland Park, Kansas, and Taylor Brownrigg from Lakeville, Minnesota. Yeah, a couple seniors.
And you know, how do you guys feel about having your last year, having such a fantastic year, and having a real shot at hitting the big tournament?
I think we're excited. One of our goals was to win a postseason game, since that's the first for Augustana, and so it's cool that we achieved that already.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just an awesome feeling. Your last year doing so well.
Well, I mean, when you started this year, did you really expect to be in and up at the end of the year with the record you've had this year, the teams you've sent home, you know, having this spot in the Final Four?
Kind of. I don't know. Like, I had a lot of confidence in us from last year, and then just even more coming in this year.
You know, we've been watching really closely the last few years, and you know, I've actually been here on signing days and talking about these players that you've been bringing in. You know, and every year, I mean, it kind of started with this class, maybe the year before, where you started really hitting some riches in terms of the kind of players you're able to bring in. And every year, it seems like your recruiting class gets stronger and stronger and stronger. I mean, from your perspective, how has that been to compete against these hotshot younger players that Coach is bringing in?
I think it just makes us all better every day, and it's really helped us have a lot of depth, so it doesn't really drop off when subs go in, and that's helped us a lot.
Still, though, if something goes wrong, it's a freshman's fault, right? Like you guys are freshmen. Well, Coach, you know, what do you think about, you know, the challenge you have in front of you this weekend?
It's going to be a good challenge. I feel like, you know, Minot plays, you know, such an unorthodox style that no matter, you know, what time of year you're playing them, whether it's at their place or our place, or, you know, or at a neutral site like it's going to be tomorrow, you know, you can just really kind of count on the fact that they're going to be unpredictable, and we got to really just be ready for that, you know, and how you prepare for somebody that's unpredictable, in my mind, is just making sure you got a really good game plan of what we're going to do, and really be focused on our style of play, and not get caught up in refereeing or what the other team's doing or what fans are doing, but really just sticking to our game plan. And we've been we implemented a great scheme kind of in preseason, and you know, these women kind of been building on what I've been doing for the last 3 years, and they're really bought in, and then they you know, communicate and articulate that to the younger players and make sure that the younger players know what's up. And yeah, so we got a very definitive style, and I don't see that changing much Friday. I hopefully win, and then I don't see it changing much for, you know, for Sunday. But yeah, no, things have been going really great. I'm really excited.
You know, we got to watch about half your game against Minot when you were up there last week. Mm-hmm. And it looked to me, and I was doing about 4 different things at the time, but it looked to me like you spent a lot of time in their end of the field.
We did, and that's actually been kind of a characteristic of our team this whole year, is that you know, we've really been a good job of 3, 5, 7 passing patterns has kind of been our thing. You know, up drop throughs, and that 3 passing pattern is just a very common style for a lot of teams. It's just that when we're playing through, we're playing it to our teammates' feet, you know, and then maybe connecting another pass, and then playing it through for that 7th pass, you know, 5th or 7th pass. And I mean, it's been great, and when we're playing in our attacking half, it's just easy to be a little bit more comfortable. You don't feel as much pressure. You know, you don't necessarily, you know, have that panic sense, you know. But I'll tell you, when we play Minot, they got a really deep sweeper, the old sweeper style, right? And this kid, she's a fantastic player, but unfortunately, every time she gets the ball, she's told that she needs to just crush it up the field. So we just got to be strong in winning that ball, winning the second ball, as you know. And once we get that second ball, then we can kind of dictate the style. We just can't get frustrated by their, you know, long ball style of play. And they've got some good players too. I mean, they got a kid up top, Ninja. She's a very dynamic, good player. A couple players in the midfield, Brianna Hatfield's a very, very nice player. But I feel good. I feel really good. I think we're going to be in a good spot. So.
We noticed you walking around with a compression bandage on your knee from the little knock yesterday in practice, and hopefully you'll be good to go. How's the health of the rest of the team right now?
It's good. It's good. I mean, this time of year you're always going to have a few bumps and bruises and a few things that kind of, maybe draw some eyebrows or some concern. But I'd say overall our health is really good. And I mean, it's going to be the same for anybody we play this time of year. I think it's all kind of relative.
Well, is there an active college player right now who doesn't have 2 sore ankles and 2 sore knees?
Right.
I mean, everybody is banged up at this time of year.
They sure are. Sure. And actually last year we bought heart rate monitors, and we wear it for all our practices and all our games, and it's really kind of revolutionized, kind of changed, our program, I feel like. And we've been able to monitor training loads and recovery times and calories burned, and it's been very, very positive, very, very positive. So.
Well, I know there are still plenty of programs that are kind of doing it old school way, but I remember in my days when we first, when I was with ODP, and we first started getting introduced to some of these more advanced scientific methods from Europeans who would come here and work with us. That blew me away, but it makes it, if your kid can run harder for 10 more minutes in the game, that's going to make a difference.
It makes a huge difference. And we hang our hat on, and as I've said, really this is my 10th season for 10 years, is that we're always going to try to be the most fit team. We're always going to try to be, as strong as we can. Our training staff does a great job of making sure we're healthy. Our conditioning, our strength coach does an unbelievable job of making sure we're strong. And then these guys, they're again super bought in. Every Tuesday, we run fitness, and it used to be, fitness, oh man, we hate running fitness, and kind of complaining, and now it's kind of turned, it's sarcasm, but it's, hey, fitness, it's all right.
You guys can probably see a purpose behind it other than just running, right? Oh. And I mean, that's how you get players to buy into that, because there is a greater purpose for that other than just, get on the line, let's run.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I think we can tell every game when the other team's tired and we're like ready to go, we're fine.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of our goals have come in the last 10 minutes of the second half, and that's what fitness has done for us.
Yeah.
Well, and I know, from my experience in coaching, a lot of times the reason we kept doing fitness hard through the entire year was after they got fit halfway through, then it turns into mental toughness. And I know I can run 95, 100 minutes if I have to, and that player right there can only run 70.
Right.
I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this battle.
It's awesome. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling when you just made a 60-yard run, or not me personally, but the women, they'll make a 60-yard run, and then they'll sprint back another 60 yards, and the player that they're playing with is kind of hunkered over, hands on their knees, and kind of looking to recover, and then we do it 5 more times before they even recover. It's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I always told my players, if you see somebody put their hands on your knee, just increase your work about 10%.
That's right.
And then,
That's right.
And then they're done. Well, Eric, I don't mean to be ignoring you. For all you folks out there who don't know Eric, he's, and here's kind of how I describe you. You're a young guy, but you're not a young coach. I mean, you've been around the coaching scene for a long time through Dakota Alliance, and even when you were a player, you were kind of a coach out there on the field, I remember. How's it feel to slide into this position here as graduate position and be in such a great program right off the bat?
It was honestly a dream come true. I wanted to get my foot in the college door ever since I started coaching. It kind of goes back to Dave Dantzler. Dave Dantzler kind of inspired me to be a coach. And I just knew I wanted to get in the college program because, just the players that you deal with at the college level, these girls are fantastic. Each and every day, I don't feel like as coaches, we ever have to ask them to work hard because they bring it every single day. They're always there for their teammates. There's, knock on wood, more than likely no drama, anything like that. They're just great individuals to be around, and I just hopefully will continue to grow. And I picked this program obviously because one of the main reasons was Coach Barkus over here. He's coached for numerous years. I've been coached for a while. He's put in lots of years, and he's got the top licensure, and just be able to learn from him on how he approaches and handles things. It's just, I mean, it's been super beneficial. I'm just really blessed to be at such a great program. I don't think it could have worked out better for me in a professional standpoint than being here at Augustana.
Well, I'm sure they're glad to have you too, because you've already generated a lot of success in your career. You know, as a matter of fact, talking about Barkus, there's only one college coach that I love more than Barkus, and that coach happens to be my own kid. So, you know, I don't know if you'll ever overtake Connor in that regard, but you know, the thing that I have always admired so much about this program is that it's consistent. The kind of players that he chooses to bring here, because there's a lot of other players that he could bring here, but he picks the top shelf, not only in terms of playing, but in terms of what kind of people they are. And so that's shown in their program over and over.
Yeah, Augustana is a relatively easy place to recruit to, I feel like. Because academically it's very rigorous and prepares the women for life after school and the professional world, and they're either going to law school maybe or maybe running a business. You never quite know. And
Yeah.
And I mean,
Well, they are going to go pro in something, aren't they?
they really are. They
Yeah.
really are. And then the thing that's cool about kind of where we're at here at Augustana too is, when they get out and they get jobs, they become supervisors, managers, CEOs, and not just employees.
Yeah.
And then they're getting jobs, in their area of study. And yeah, I mean, that makes me really proud. I look at the success of our graduates, and they do an amazing job. They're either have they landed a job or they're in grad school. It seems like it's one of the two, and none of them are just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, you have that luxury of being at an institution where you literally have the ability, unlike so many other college coaches, to keep your promises. to
Right.
Players.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to take a step back. When I recruit, I always say I don't promise or guarantee anything. Something I just reminded these guys that the other day.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I say frequently is it's going to be hard. Just had a tough conversation with a freshman yesterday who was asking me about playing time, and she was a star on her club team, star on her high school team, and played all the time. And I said, you're just not quite there yet. And it's tough for those young women to hear, but you got to be honest. And I try to be tactful, but it is hard. It's very, very hard, and it takes a lot of work. But I think at the end of the day, it pays off. And when you get to this point, as a freshman, it seems like everything's so hard, and it's oh my gosh. And then before you know it, you're a senior. You're like, where did it all go?
Yeah.
And I think we've built something good because of the women. And it's I like to think I had a little bit of it, a little part of it, but really at the end of the day, I mean, the women come in and they lead themselves, and like Eric said, there's low drama, and they're focused on academics. And I'll give you a great example. We're supposed to be in Mankato tomorrow. We play tomorrow at 11, and Minot left last night to get down to Mankato so they could practice today or whatever they're doing today. And we have a practice time today as well, but we're staying here and finishing classes. Going to practice after class around 4 and leave tonight. And we're doing that because academics are, again, the most important thing. And so the girls are going to be in class today, and they're going to, kind of celebrate our victory yesterday with people on campus and do things like this. And so yeah, it's just kind of a different environment, and I'm not saying that Minot doesn't care about school. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying just the philosophies and the ideals and kind of who we are just really different. And I take a lot of pride in it. I think these guys take a lot of pride in it. So
obviously you two are glad you made the choice to come to Augustana.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any advice? Because we're probably going to have some high school students out there, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, looking at you two and wondering what it is that you got from being in this program and being at this school. Now's a good time to talk about it if you want to.
It's a tough one.
I don't know, like when you're deciding of like where you want to go, just looking at different sizes, and I like the small aspect of Augie because you're connected to a lot more people, like your professors, or even just like Barkus. Like we hang out in his office all the time and just come talk to him. Like I don't think other programs do that kind of stuff, and it's really cool feeling and just like family, and like that I know my teammates will do anything for me and not do anything for them kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would just say, like Coach mentioned, it is hard a lot of the time, but it's definitely worth it. And like the memories we've all made and the friendships we have are gonna last forever.
Now you come
Carrie.
well, yeah, and you come from. I'm not sure how big your hometown is, or was it by the Twin Cities?
Yeah.
So you both come from an urban environment. Coming to Sioux Falls, was that like coming to Hickville, or did you like Sioux Falls as a town to live in while you're going to school?
I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
it has everything that you would need, and I like how there's things outside of the campus. There's always something to do
Yeah.
or going on.
I mean, it's a small campus, but Sioux Falls has everything.
Yeah, and plus where you come from doesn't have a soccer 605. Well, I don't know if you have anything to add. I do know that, we're going to try to get here, hopefully your season runs on. But I know we're going to try to get here to do a season rundown.
Cool.
With you.
We are sitting number 3 regionally right now, so I think there's a very good chance that we will, advance to the NCAA for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's a given. We still got to go out and take it game by game. That was really kind of the interesting thing too the other day. I had a lot of people asking me. What the deal is with the postseason and how big a game is this and so forth. And really, in my mind, we just kind of really approached it as another game. I mean, that's the deal. And that's really kind of our approach this whole season. That's what we're going to do again tomorrow. It's just another game. And we're going to try to do the best we can in that game. We're not going to look past Minot. And if we do, we're in trouble. Because, again, they're a very explosive and good team. So, so if we're so blessed, to get another win, and I think the likelihood of maybe going to the NCAA is pretty good. So hopefully we have another week of training and another weekend of games. That would be really great. But just kind of keep our fingers crossed and pray.
I suppose you two are trying to drag it out as long as you could possibly can, aren't you?
Well, they're only dragging it out because they like spending time with me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's
there's no doubt
Can
about
we spend
that.
more time with
Yeah.
Marcus?
Well, that's why I keep dragging this interview out. So it's time to get out of here, but thanks a lot, coaches, players, for hanging out with us a little bit. We can't even describe how proud we are of what you folks have put together here and the sustainability of what you've done. That's our job.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for hanging out a little bit this morning with Soccer 605, and we'll be seeing you on a pitch somewhere soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Randy.